Hi, I'm Jeff Schwartz of Schwartz Performance. This is our May 2017 update. 67 Chevelle SS396. What's more iconic than that? But is it really a 396? Or could there be a 540 lurking inside? Well, sorry, but I can't tell you. What we're doing to this car is we're putting a complete RideTech street grip system on it. We manufacture chassis, as you all well know, and sometimes when a guy doesn't have a budget for a complete Schwartz G-Machine chassis, we install bolt-in solutions like the RideTech street grip system, which incidentally is a relatively new product, and they've got it for a wide range of cars. It lowers the car a little bit, has some different sway bars and springs, and shocks, of course. Makes an outstanding difference on handling. So can't wait to get this one done and test drive it. What have we got here? A complete custom fuel injection system that looks like a tri-power carburetor setup. This should look really good on this 66 GTO, and I can't wait to try out how this thing runs. Incidentally, the what looks like float bowls is actually fuel rails, and then the injectors are hidden within it as well. So a pretty stealthy setup. Nice. Lime green 71 Cuda. We gave you a sneak peek of this under a cover a couple months ago. Well, we've now got the chassis mocked up in there, and this one's getting an SRT8 drivetrain. Modern Hemi, automatic trans. Should be pretty cool. Once again, we've got multiple chassis waiting to be installed in vehicles. Chevy pickup Series 1, first gen Camaro, Chevy 2 Nova. Incidentally, you can read about that one in Super Chevy magazine and online, because we're going to install that in their shop project car real soon. 63 Chevy LS3 powered. We've got our AC hoses all made up, air intake tube, cooling system, fans, Be Cool radiator, and reservoir. Should be a fun cruiser. As you probably know by now, I like oddball things that are different. What I've got here is an AMC cylinder head. AMC had a high performance version of their production head that had the dogleg shape on this exhaust port. And this dogleg port became standard equipment on all the 71 and newer models, the 401s and the 360s. Really a good flowing cylinder head. As a matter of fact, the AMC production iron head that was put on most cars and Jeeps and so forth outflowed all production small block Chevy heads up until the Vortec head came out in 1996 on the pickup trucks. And I'm not talking about Chevy race heads that you get through the parts department. I'm talking about production heads that were actually put on production vehicles. So that's pretty amazing for a small company, and it was a result of their success in the Trans Am Road Racing Series. What I've got here is a Indy cylinder head version for the AMC V8. It's got the stock port shape. The intake ports have been raised a touch. They're 235cc intake ports. And with a little bowl cleanup, these things will flow what LS3 heads flow. Incidentally, we all know it's real easy to make 530 horse out of an LS3 with just a real mild camshaft. So we're going to attempt to see if we can get some 500 plus horsepower numbers out of this AMC V8. Stay tuned, we'll show you the results. Speaking of AMCs, these cars were never built in the production quantities that Fords or Chevys were, so therefore reproduction parts are very limited on what's available. So in the case of this 72 AMX here, we had some damage underneath the core support here. It looked like somebody had either bumped a curb or done some damage underneath the car. So all this stuff was bent up. So what do you do when you can't buy a reproduction part? Well, you've got two choices. One is to fab something from scratch, or find another car that's got a good piece, cut it off and weld it in. So that's what we did in this case. We had a lower core support and the middle core support from another vehicle, and we cut out the bent up area of this one and then sectioned that piece in and welded it in, and it came out quite nicely. So back to the old school restoration methods before They had reproduction parts for everything Camaro and Mustang. 48 Willys pickup that the young girl's going to be autocrossing. We've made a lot of progress on this one. We've completed the full chassis, mocked up an LS engine and a T56. We had to cut the tunnel a little bit for clearance, and then the track width on Willys pickups, if it was a 4x4, the front track width matched the rear track width. But this one was a two-wheel drive model, so the front track width was much narrower than the rear. It's probably about 5.5 inches narrower in the front. So what we did is we decided to, for maximum handling, you'd like your track width to be equal front and rear. So we made the front track width of this chassis match the rear, and consequently we had to widen the front fenders in order to make everything fit right. So we've built the chassis and we've widened the fenders. We had to extend the running boards a little bit to keep that original line where it tapers into the cab, and it came out pretty nice. I wouldn't mind ripping around with this one myself. 69 Super B, we got the deck lid in for this, so all the rear sheet metal now has been welded in position after we adjusted the gaps and made everything good fitment. And we've got our tail panel welded in there as well. We still need to pull this off, put it on the rotisserie, flip it upside down, and do some welding on the bottom of the car from the tunnel work we did, the floor pan, and where our chassis passes through the rear seat wells. So we still have to do a little bit of welding, flipping that over. We've got the panels made up for the engine compartment, and we still have to final weld those in as well. This F3 pickup, we've got the entire new floor welded in there, so that looks pretty good. I'll show you the bed sides too. The bed sides for the F3 pickup, we showed a couple months ago where we were just starting to widen them. We've now completed that. We took essentially 3 F1 bed sides, cut them into pieces, and added length on either end of them to create a long bed that matches very closely to the F3 bed. So there they are. They were all TIG welded, ground smooth, very little body work going to be required on those. 1928 Ford Model A depot hack, Woody essentially. We built our G-Machine chassis for this. We still have to make a pan that rolls around the front and hides the rack and pinion. We want an old school look for this. All the wood has been constructed and it's being finished right now, and we're in the process of extending the running boards and finishing up all the fab work remaining on this metal body so we can get it painted. We're planning to debut this at Back to the 50s in Minnesota tail end of June.